other game just as important.
Kylie Schultz will begin the game for the Huskies. Furbringer sets up a Gus with the kill, and Wisconsin off to a good start, 1-0. And Carter, that figures to be a cornerstone of the Wisconsin offense coming in the fall of 2026. Furbringer to Auguste.
Absolutely, Wisconsin immediately going to their biggest offseason pickup in Auguste, and getting that partnership between Furbringer and Auguste, really building that chemistry here in the spring is one of the most important parts. Furbringer had such a great relationship with Carter Booth over the past 2 seasons. Now having to rebuild that with a new middle blocker.
Dug out there by Audrey Flanagan. Now it's Ava Travis slamming it down. Back-to-back kills for the Badgers, and they start 2-0.
2 points from 2 transfers. Ava Travis over from UC Santa Barbara. Really interested to see how she is going to be in this upcoming season, and a lot of different options for Wisconsin to try to see who picks up the slack from losing the likes of Mimi Collier.
And the service from Isabel Hoppy goes long, and Northern Illinois is on the board. Madison Quest checks in. Hoppy goes back to the bench for the Badgers. And now serving for Northern Illinois will be Ava Grevingood. Over the net, dug out by Flanagan. Furbringer over to Auguste. She goes with a fake out. Dug out by the Huskies. Sends it over the net. Furbringer again to Auguste. Second try. It's blocked. Good save. Ball up for grabs. And we have a net violation, I believe. Didn't get what that call was. Irregardless, point Wisconsin. It's now 3-1.
Yeah, it was some good defensive plays, some nice digs from NIU, but just unable to cope with the pressure being applied by the Badgers.
Ava Travis, the redshirt sophomore from Aliso Viejo, California, serves. And spike from Riley Alvin goes long. Point to Wisconsin. And Northern Illinois Huskies struggling to find offense here early in this game.
And it's not going to be easy against this Badger team. They were one of the best in the Big Ten last year at limiting their opponent's hitting percentage.
Naomi Dowd pushes it over the net for the Huskies. Dug out well by Kristen Simon. Sent over the net. Audrey Flanagan with the kill. Point to Wisconsin.
Great play there from the Badgers. Defense into offense. Really nice dig from Kristen Simon. And then the setup for Flanagan. One of 3 top 10 freshman recruits Wisconsin brought in.
Ava Travis went on a good run there as the server, but sends that one long. And so yet again, Northern Illinois gets a point from a service error by the Badgers. Serve back to the Huskies. And it'll be Ellie Smith, the freshman from Vero Beach, Florida, who will serve. Over the net, dug out by Simon. Furbringer sets up Auguste, and she buries it. Jayla Auguste led Florida in hitting percentage a season ago at .344, was second on the team in blocks also with 106. And yet again, making her impact felt early. Simon will now serve for the Badgers. 6-2 the score here in set 1. Once again, we will play at least 4, no matter the score of the first best of 5. That one is blocked by Wardlow, but it was over the net, so that'll be a point to the Huskies.
I like the aggressiveness from Northern Illinois, just going right at that Badger block. Wardlow able to get up, but unable to get over and keep that one on NIU's side.
Kylie Schultz serves. Dug out by Travis. Furbringer goes far side, looking for Flanagan. Tipped at the net. Northern Illinois will counter. Ball back here. It's Delaney Steers who sends it out of bounds. Point to Wisconsin. One of the longer rallies, though, that we've had so far in this set 1.
Yeah, but it's all starting again from Wisconsin defensively.
Yeah.
Flanagan not making it easy for Northern Illinois to get it over. They try to go the other side with Steers, and she's just unable to keep it in the lines.
Furbringer service is dug out by the Huskies. Steers sends it over the net. Now Simon sets up Flanagan. And that is in. I think it hit the line. A good kill from Audrey Flanagan, making her impact felt here early.
Yeah, she's one of those freshmen that they're really excited about. She's the number 5 ranked player of the freshman class, the 3rd outside hitter.
The Huskies will try to counter the serve. Furbringer dings it out and just sends it back over the net. Northern Illinois was in scramble mode. Kylie Schultz did her best to get over there, but in the end, she could only do so much, and the point goes to Wisconsin. Northern Illinois will call a timeout. Carter, what have you seen so far that's worked well for the Wisconsin?
Well, is there really anything Charlie Furbringer can't do? Really good start for her. Gets the point there for Wisconsin. Really good start for the Badgers. They're up 9-3.
Welcome back right here. Big Ten Plus. The Badgers lead the Huskies 9-3 here in set 1. Furbringer with the serve, sends it over the net. The Huskies will counterattack. Steer sends it over. Wardlow tried to block it, but no dice for the Badgers. Point to the Huskies.
Second time NIU's attacked Natalie Wardlow in the middle there. And the second time it's worked out for them, trying to find those matchups where they're able to get some success.
Far side, Ava Travis coming up from the back line, hammers it home. A big kill for Travis. Wisconsin now into double digits.
Yeah, Ava Travis picking up where she left off their last game against Green Bay. Had 8 kills in that one, now 2 in this first set.
Flanagan serves. Northern Illinois goes far side with Kiana Shields. And there's Audrey Flanagan yet again with the kill.
Right now for Wisconsin, it's Kristen Simon, Charlie Furbringer running the show. Those two combining, setting up Wardlow for another point.
Ava Grevengood went with this kill, but it was blocked at the net by the Badgers. They walled up. Good defense there.
Yeah, this time the combination of Natalie Wardlow, Madison Quest able to get the block. Grevengood was second on the team in points and kills a season ago, which is unable to beat the block there.
Nice communication there by the Huskies. Can they recover? Grevengood with the kill. Good dig there by Kristen Simon. Now near side Madison Quest. Blocked at the net by Grevengood. Now she'll go for the kill. Off the hands of the Badgers and out of bounds. Point to the Huskies.
Nice recovery there by Northern Illinois. It was a good dig by Kristen Simon to keep it alive for Wisconsin, but that got the Badgers out of system. Northern Illinois takes advantage off the block.
A 3-time state title winner Autumn Flynn with the serve for the Huskies. A vicious kill by Ava Travis yet again. Autumn Flynn couldn't handle it. Point to Wisconsin.
Yeah, really good start for Travis, her 3rd kill now.
Ava Travis, the transfer from UC Santa Barbara, she spent 2 years, was the 2024 Big Ten Freshman of the Year, and was on the All Big Ten West second team this past fall. Naomi Dowd will check into the game for the Huskies. There's a service there by Natalie Wardlow. The Huskies now up to 6 points here in this first set. Still trail by 7. Furbringer with the set, sets up August. No doubt about it. Jayla August slams it home for the kill.
It's just too easy for Jayla August. She led Wisconsin in kills with 10 last time out against Green Bay. And now that's her third of this set. And you can always just see that chemistry being built with Charlie Furbringer. You know, the rest of the Big Ten is not going to like to see another incredibly talented middle blocker for the Badgers.
Ava Grevengood comes up to the net with the kill, gets the point off the Badgers and out of bounds. 14-7. So far in this first set, a big theme, Carter, of that Wisconsin-Green Bay spring match last week was the big runs that Wisconsin was able to go on. So far here in this first set, nothing, no kill shots yet for Wisconsin on the run. Been pretty back and forth. Furbringer with the set, goes far side to Ava Travis. She got good force on it, but sent it out of bounds. Point to the Huskies.
I'd like to see another look of that. It was really close from my view. I initially thought it was inside the lines. Of course, referees have a better look. Now an ace.
And a sinking serve. Kristen Simon gave her fit. She wasn't able to recover. Point again to the Huskies with an ace.
Grevengood.
Yeah. She's been a bright spot so far for Northern Illinois.
She had 24 aces last season.
Furbringer to Flanagan, who came up from the back line, but it went off the net and out of bounds. Point again to Northern Illinois. And they're on a nice 4-0 run here.
Yeah, you just talked about Wisconsin's ability to go on runs, and now Northern Illinois putting together one of their own. 14-10 now.
Grevengood with a sinking serve, dug out by Simon, far side. Travis, the Huskies trying to counter. It's Naomi Dowd who will send it to Madison Quest. Furbringer tricks the Huskies. Looked like she was going to set it over to the near side to August. Instead, a little cat and mouse just hits it over the net. Point to Wisconsin. They're up by 5.
That is vintage Charlie Furbringer, and she got a great ovation from this Fieldhouse crowd for that one. Just that little setter dump. She's so good when she uses it. Always able to catch the opponent off guard.
Delaney Steers with the kill, and it's in. On the line, deep into the Wisconsin side. The Northern Illinois Huskies putting up a fight here in set 1. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, this is a really good first set from Northern Illinois. Just trying to keep pace with Wisconsin, stay within striking distance.
And a little mishap there. Furbringer did all she could to try to keep it in play. But once again, point to Northern Illinois. And since they have gotten the service, Carter, they've been able, not that they're not playing so much defense and rather have the ability to go on the attack, they've strung some points together here.
Yeah, Northern Illinois has been really impressive from the service line to start this one, but you can be good from the service line. It doesn't mean a whole lot if you can't stop these attacks. Another great one from Jayla August. We'll head to the bench, but she has been phenomenal in this first set. That's now 4 kills for the transfer.
So far, the Huskies have no answer for Jayla August's power. The serve from Kristen Simon is into the net. Service error, point to Northern Illinois. They were down by as much as 8 here in this first set. They've cut that lead to 3. 4 service errors for Wisconsin in this first set. Shooting themselves in the foot. That one goes long. Speak of the devil, right when we're talking about service errors for Wisconsin, Kylie Schultz sends it long for Northern Illinois. That's the first service error on the night for the Huskies.
Yeah, it's a tough position, and I'd expect to see some more errors come from the service line from Northern Illinois because they just have to be so aggressive in how they attack. And another service error. That's 3 in a row.
Furbringer's serve into the net. Delaney Steers will now serve for the Huskies, the freshman from Brownsburg, Indiana. Sends it over, dug out by Simon. Furbringer, near side to Audrey Flanagan. And it's in, Audrey Flanagan yet again.
Looks like we're saying it was a touch. Good job by Flanagan. He's already been busy in this opening set. Now that 3 kills for her.
Flanagan with the serve. Far side, they go to Kiana Shields for the Huskies. Dug out by Simon. Now Furbringer over to Ava Travis. And Ava Travis continues to hurt the Huskies with her power. Point to Wisconsin. They stretch their lead back out to 5.
Well, the competition is see who Wisconsin's #1 outside hitter is in the 2026 season is going to be incredibly interesting to watch. You have Ava Travis, who has been so good for Wisconsin in this spring, has been great today. Audrey Flanagan, who's a very highly rated prospect, as well as Hallie Thompson. You also have Madison Quest back for her 2nd season with Wisconsin, as well as Grace Egan, who's not playing today. There's just so many options for Kelly Sheffield, so much talent at his disposal.
Furbringer sets up Natalie Wardlow, point to Wisconsin. They're the first to 20 here in this game. Up 20-14. 15 kills for the Badgers, only 5 so far for the Huskies. Wisconsin has won a lot of points at the net. Flanagan sends it over. That serve was knuckling and sinking. The Huskies were not quick enough to react, and Audrey Flanagan gets the service ace.
Looks like she had some help from the net as well. Just able to get it to drop in between a host of Huskies for another point.
That was Autumn Flynn with the kill, blocked at the net by Wardlow. They try again, and it's Ava Grevengood for the Huskies. It's another point. She's put her mark on this game so far.
Great recovery from Northern Illinois off another really nice serve from Audrey Flanagan, but they're able to rally and set up Grevengood, who's one of the best attackers on this Husky team.
Flynn's serve is dug out by Ava Travis, but it went over the net. Opportunity for the Huskies. Good job by Natalie Wardlow to stay aware. And Ava Travis. Schultz now goes back to Grevengood. She tried to go with the fake out. Jayla August was not to be fooled, though. She sends it back over, and another point to the Badgers.
These two transfers have been so impressive. Taking another look, it was Quest and August. They mistimed the jump on the block, but then it just came right over, and August still ready for it, able to send it back and get the point. Really impressive play to stick with it.
Madison Quest's kill attempt is sent long. That'll be a point for the Huskies. Checking into the game for Northern Illinois, Naomi Dowd. And heading to the benches, Kiana Shields. Serving now for the Huskies, Kylie Schultz. Shot is dug out by Flanagan. Furbringer near side to Madison Quest. And it's blocked at the net by the Huskies, and they cut the Wisconsin lead now to 6.
Yeah, great play there from Grevengood. Only had 24 blocks all of last season, but able to get a hand on that one. They get a point back, and then they give one back to Wisconsin with the error.
Unforced errors brings Wisconsin to set point. Isabel Hoppy checks into the game for Madison Quest, and she will serve. The 2026 Pennsylvania Gatorade Player of the Year flipped her commitment from Penn State to Wisconsin. There's a chance to end set 1 right here. Hoppy's serve is dug out by Schultz. Excuse me, that's Grevengood. Grevengood on the kill. It's blocked at the net. They're going to call a net violation, I believe. Yeah, net violation on the Badgers. August and Furbringer were in the area. That results in a point for the Huskies.
Yeah, now Northern Illinois, they've had success, and it's all started at the service line. They're going to need some more good serves here to try to get back into this set.
Grevengood serve. Dug out by Quest. Now on the spike. It's Audrey Flanagan with the kill. She had her hands all over that first set. It's fitting that she's the one to end it. Wisconsin in set 1 here of this spring match takes 25-18 victory. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for set 2 right here on Big Ten Plus. short-handed Northern Illinois team. They've only got 8 players today. You can roster as much as 18, so they are definitely short-handed, missing a few players that they even have on their spring roster. So here we go, set 2. Wisconsin up 1-0. They'll start with Charlie Furbringer to serve. Dug out by the Huskies. Schultze sets up Delaney Sears, who sent it long. Excuse me, that was Riley Alvin who sent it long. So Wisconsin, just as they did in set 1, will start set 2 up 1-0.
It's going to be interesting to see how Northern Illinois is able to cope as this game continues to go. It was a good first set. They were able to keep pace for much of that first set, even though they weren't able to lead it all. But as you mentioned, a shorthanded roster today. How is the fatigue going to affect them as that sets in the longer this game goes?
And we are guaranteed to play 4 sets, no matter the score. Hallie Thompson seeing her first action of the game. Now Delaney Steers with the kill. I think they're saying it got tipped by a Badger. Point to the Huskies, and they take a quick 2-1 lead.
And you mentioned Hallie Thompson in there for Wisconsin. There's also Lenny Tarnow. Northern Illinois gets the point, but that's just that rotation that Wisconsin is able to do in this game that Northern Illinois can't, just because of the roster size that these two teams have. We saw a lot of Audrey Flanagan, Madison Quest in the first. Now we're seeing Tarnow and Thompson in the second.
Thompson with the kill, and it's good. Hallie Thompson from the same hometown of Spring, Texas as Jayla August. Hallie Thompson, a freshman, was the number 2 ranked player at prepvolleyball.com. As she now serves, dug out by Grevin Good. Kylie Schultz goes far side, Naomi Dowd. Good dig by Thompson. As we keep going, it's Lenny Tarnow. Sends it over for the Badgers. Now near side, Delaney Steers. Furbringer, far side, Travis. And she leaves no doubt. Ava Travis continues her sizzling streak here in this game. And that ties the game at 3.
Lovely, lovely run of play there. And Travis able to get the kill. But once again, it was Hallie Thompson. Had a really nice dig, a couple nice plays after coming into this game from her. Northern Illinois able to get the point back. Nice little dump there from Riley Alvin.
A little teardrop there from Riley Alvin. She got the set right there in the center of the court from Kylie Schultz. Was able just to drop it into the soft spot to give Northern Illinois the lead once again. Now serving, Ellie Smith for the Huskies. Sends it over, dug out by Hallie Thompson. She is seeing a lot of action here in this set 2. Kylie Schultz sends it near side. Delaney Steers, and she's denied at the net. Lenny Tarnos making her first impact on the game. The freshman from Downers Grove with the block.
Yeah, she's another freshman to be really excited about. She was ranked number 7 by PrepDig.com, and she's the number 1 middle blocker prospect. Another one of those 3 top 10 freshmen that Wisconsin has brought in this season. And now Jayla August gets the block.
Well, we've seen her ability to play high-powered offense, and right there you see her defense on display as she stuffs Autumn Flynn right at the net. Jayla August was 2nd in blocks for Florida a season ago with 106. And on the serve, it's an ace. Wisconsin with another point. We've seen a lot of service errors by the Badgers. I'm sure it's nice for Sheffield and his squad to finally see an ace. That one goes to Kristen Simon. Her 2nd year as a libero. Now near side, Delaney Steers once again kind of went with the push shot to try to fake out the Badger blockers right at the net, and this time it worked.
Well, we just saw both Lenny Tarnow and Jayla August get blocks for Wisconsin, but no fear from Delaney Steers. Goes right at the both of them and is able to push it past to get the point.
Good dig by Simon. Now near side, Lenny Tarnow blocked at the net. They'll go near side. Autumn Flynn, it was a little bit over her head, a little awkward push shot. Then Kristen Simon's shot goes long. point to the Huskies. So far, set one saw for every just about 1 point for the Huskies, 2 or 3 for the Badgers. So far, it's been 1 for 1. Points exchanged here in set 2. Still early, though. Linny Tarno, no doubt about it. How do you do? Linny Tarno with the kill. And yet again, using her power, puts the Badgers on top.
Yeah, just look at this. Nothing that could have been done about that one. Just another one of these really exciting prospects for Wisconsin. She goes to the bench, and Audrey Flanagan now comes back in for the Badgers.
It's going to be a youthful Badger team in the fall when they come back, but a very talented one. Furbringer sets up Hallie Thompson on the near side. It's tipped at the net by the Huskies. Goes out of bounds. Point to Wisconsin.
It's just newcomer after newcomer making an impact for these Badgers. Now Hallie Thompson off the block, able to get the power behind it. So even though the hands are up for Northern Illinois, they just can't keep it down. It gives Wisconsin another point.
Schultz sets up Autumn Flynn at the far side. Too hot to handle for Audrey Flanagan, and the Huskies get a point back. And we talk about the roster turnover for the Badgers, but that applies to the Huskies too, Carter. They've got, according to reports, around 6 players who should be on the team come the fall who are not suited up today. Jayla Gus gets the point.
Yeah, nice dump there by Gus, but yeah, it's really different situations for both these teams. You know, Wisconsin, they're building a lot of chemistry, these newcomers. For Northern Illinois, while they do have 6 players who are going to be coming in for the next season, 6 players who have already been signed, none of them are on this spring roster. Every player who's on the spring roster for Northern Illinois was on the roster last season. So while there's still advantages having the spring, they don't have to rebuild some of that chemistry, which we have seen a bit in this second set with how they've been able to keep pace with Wisconsin. You know, there's not those little kinks that they have to work out quite yet, because they have already built so much of that chemistry over their time together from last season.
Good dig by Kristen Simon. Now Hallie Thompson goes for the kill. That hit the video board. Off the dig by Ava Grevengood. Went high into the air. And Wisconsin will end up getting the point. They were also charged a service error there. They kind of took their sweet time, basically the equivalent of delay of game. That was the 8th point for Northern Illinois before this 10th point, as Wisconsin was switching around the lineup. Now Jayla Gus to serve. Near side, Ava Grevengood, and she continues to be the main offensive force for Northern Illinois. She gets the kill, and the lead back down to 1.
Yeah, now a team-high 5 kills for Grevengood. One of the best attackers on this NIU team, was second in kills and points last season, just behind Emma McCartney.
Hallie Thompson with a fireball. Too much to handle for Autumn Flynn. She tried to dig it out, but it went into the stands. And Hallie Thompson, the Huskies went at her early in this set on serves, but she has settled in and made an impact at the net with her kills. Now Furbringer to serve. And Autumn, no, that's not up, but Delaney Steers couldn't handle it. Point to Wisconsin. Charlie Furbringer on the serve. Wisconsin now up 12-9. Furbringer with the service ace. It's Wisconsin's 22nd service ace of the game. Excuse me, 3rd. Read the wrong stat. Furbringer now near side to Hallie Thompson. Send it long. Point to the Huskies. That cuts the lead back down to 2. And Carter, as with, you know, any preseason game, there's going to be some chinks in the armor that you got to sort out. Wisconsin so far, 7 service errors. Some sloppy play, but they look good so far. Now Furbringer to Ava Travis. And although there may be some sloppy play, Ava Travis has not been a part of that.
Yeah, Ava Travis has been phenomenal for Wisconsin. That's her 7th kill. She's hitting 600 right now. And a second time from the back row, we've seen her be able to do some damage. And Wisconsin fans, they got so used to seeing Mimi Collier during the 2025 season be so deadly from the back row, as Northern Illinois once again gets another point back. They're just not going away in this second set. Really impressive. Just out of reach for Hallie Thompson.
Yeah. Kelly Sheffield is, put in definitely a different squad, getting everyone involved here in the second set. As that one tipped at the line, Lenny Tarnow gets the point for the Badgers. But the Huskies have battled here. They held their own in the first set, still fell by 7. But so far, the second set has been back and forth, back and forth. Kristen Simon will now serve. Freshman. It's a little confusing with the years for these, because some of these freshmen played with them in the fall, and now some are joining as early comers, as Jayla August gets the point there. But Kristen Simon is part of the team. She was the Kentucky Gatorade player in 2024. She had the fourth most digs by a freshman, making her impact felt early. Wisconsin up 15-11 here in set 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to college volleyball right here on Big Ten Plus, as the Wisconsin Badgers lead the Northern Illinois Huskies 15-11 here in set 2. And Carter, what did, as you see here on our screen, the series history between these two teams?
Yeah, a series that Wisconsin has had the upper hand in. Although these two teams, they've only played twice in the last 31 years in official matches, one in 2010, another in 2021.
Kristen Simon's serve does not clear the net. That'll be the 8th service error for the Badgers in the first 2 sets. Point to the Huskies.
Yeah, you mentioned a bit earlier, these spring games are one of those chances to find those kinks in the armor, and right now, oh my, what a kill that was from Jayla August.
Jayla August gets a big ovation from the crowd. Wisconsin fans definitely excited to see her back here in the fall.
Yeah, they got a little look at her last fall when Florida was in town to take on Wisconsin at the Kohl Center, but they're going to be really excited to be cheering for more plays like that come next fall.
Flanagan's serve goes long, point to the Huskies. They cut the lead back to 3. Yeah, Wisconsin lost a lot of power to graduation this past spring, Carter, and it looks so far Kelly Sheffield did a good job in the portal of making up for it in the intern. Dug out by Hallie Thompson. Now Furbringer coming up from the back line was Flanagan. She went for the kill, but sent it long. Point to the Huskies.
It was a good first set from Audrey Flanagan. Hasn't been able to get it on the same level here in this second, as Northern Illinois once again doing a really good job keeping pace, even though they're shorthanded and aren't able to rotate like Wisconsin is. They're doing a great job just making things difficult for the Badgers. And I mean, service errors have been a huge problem for Wisconsin so far. And you know, these are those games where you really need to find your weaknesses, as you mentioned, because it's not going to be easy for Wisconsin when they start 2026. I mean, the first game of Wisconsin's 2026 season is going to be against the same team that ended their year back at the end of the fall when they played Kentucky and Milwaukee in the ABCA First Serve competition. They're one of the teams who have been selected to play in that one, and they're going to be starting against the Kentucky team, which everyone knows how good Kentucky is. They're right there, nearly won a national championship, and of course ended Wisconsin's season. So that's going to be a really fun one to start the year. But Wisconsin, they're going to have to find a way to figure out some of these issues that have been showing themselves in this one.
Ava Travis goes up top, knocks it back down to get the easy point.
Ava Travis certainly has not been an issue. It's now 8 kills for her.
She will now serve. Wisconsin up by 3 here as we enter the later stages of the second set. Serves dug out by Grevengood. Now near side, Grevengood will spike it. Dug out by Simon. Furbringer's set was a little too close to the net for Jayla August. Hallie Thompson's kill blocked at the net. Simon just sends it over. A nice rally here. Far side. It's Kiana Shields with the kill for the Huskies. She cuts the lead to 2.
What a point from Northern Illinois. It all starts with Autumn Flynn on the block, rejecting Wisconsin multiple times. And then Northern Illinois able to get the chance, and it's Kiana Shields, who did not play at all in 2025, able to get the kill. A nice cross-court pass. But of course, Wisconsin's got the answer, and it's Charlie Furbringer at setter dump once again. She knows exactly when to pull it out.
Good job there by Charlie Furbringer. With the little fake out. Wisconsin back up by 3. Jayla August now to serve. Got a little help from the net. Schultz was there to scoop it out. And then Kiana Shields is denied at the net by Hallie Thompson. She gets the block and stretches the Badger lead to 4.
Thompson and Wardlow combining. Northern Illinois tried to go right back to Kiana Shields after she just got a kill a couple plays ago, but the Badgers have the answer. Hallie Thompson, we've already talked about. She's a multi-time state champion, playing down in Texas. And then Natalie Wardlow, who she really played mostly came in last season at the service line, getting some more time now in her middle blocker position, doing a good job helping out. Just had 4 blocks all of 2025, and even though she played every single game, she'll definitely be excited to get some more opportunities on the court instead of just at the service line.
Yeah, she's like Kristen Simon, was a freshman in the fall. Like you mentioned, Carter played in every game, was the number 17th overall player out of high school, hailing from Lincoln, Nebraska. She had 27 service aces a season ago, which was good for the second most on the team. A very good middle blocker for the Badgers, who is expected to have a bit of an expanded role this season.
Yeah, she was the #1 middle blocker coming out of Nebraska, #2 player out of Nebraska out of high school, elected to come to Wisconsin instead of staying with the hometown Huskers. She did have 4 aces against those Huskers when they came to town on Halloween. It was a Nebraska win, but definitely a game to remember for Wardlow.
Jayla August's serve goes long. Another service error on the Badgers that brings them up.
Now 10 service errors for Wisconsin. It's just 2 sets.
Kylie Schultz to serve for the Huskies. Dug out by Thompson. Furbringer sets her back up. Good dig there by Schultz. Down far side, Naomi Dowd. And there once again, to put a bow tie on the possession, is Ava Travis with the kill. She's now got 9 on the night. Leads the team.
Yeah, Ava Travis, her best performance in her very young Badger career, had 8 kills in the games against Marquette and Green Bay. As you just mentioned, up to 9 in this one.
Ava Grevengood with the kill, sends it long, point to Wisconsin.
Yeah, just unable to hit it off a Badger player or keep it in play. Wisconsin now starting to pull away just ever slightly as we get near the end of the set.
Furbringer to serve. Dug out by Grevengood. She now gets back for the kill. Dug out by Travis. Hallie Thompson gets it over the net. Knocked around. The Huskies are able to send it over, though. Keep the possession alive. Furbringer now to Natalie Wardlow, who leaves no doubt with the kill to stretch the Badger lead up to 6.
It was a great play from Kylie Schultz to try to keep it alive for Northern Illinois, but Natalie Wardlow, who only had 7 kills last season, has her 3rd today. Just a really powerful hit in the middle. Nothing Northern Illinois could have done about it. That's a lovely little teardrop from Riley Avelno to respond.
Lead back down to 5. Northern Illinois, can they mount a comeback here to avoid going down 2-0 in this game? Dug out by Wardlow. She gets it right back from Furbringer. A little give and go. Natalie Wardlow with another kill, making her presence felt here at the end of the 2nd set.
And she's another player who you really want to see her and Furbringer building that chemistry in the middle. As everyone knows, Carter Booth leaving, a big loss for Wisconsin. And Alicia Andrew, who also was a rotational player in the middle, also a very big departure, and Wardlow going to try to step in and fill that hole as another set point for the Badgers.
Ava Travis now enters double digits for kills on the day, brings the Badgers to set point. Hallie Thompson to serve. Dug out by Grevengood. Schultz sends it far side to Naomi Dowd. Off of the Badgers, point to the Huskies. Didn't look like Wisconsin agreed with the call initially, but irregardless, point to the Huskies. Set point again. Serve for the Huskies. Dug out by Simon. Now Furbringer coming up from the back. Hallie Thompson. She has been a big part of this 2nd set, and it's only fitting that she gets the set point for Wisconsin. And just as set 1 ended, set 2 ends in a 25-18 Badger victory. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Big Ten Plus for set number 3. Front, Carter, as the Badgers and the Northern Illinois Huskies get set to close. Jayla Gus giving the fans some love right back. Newcomer, like we mentioned, the transfer from Florida. She was an impact player there. Was one of the better players available in the Porter. Coach Kelly Sheffield went out, brought her here to Madtown. She's sure to be a fan favorite when the Badgers are back on campus in the fall for the regular season. She's got a big role to fill. So far, she looks like she's up to the task. All right, here we go. Set number 3 underway with the serve from Ellie Smith. Charlie Furbringer sets up Linny Tarnow. Look out, Delaney Steers. That looked like it might have hit her in the head.
I think it did, and Lainey Tarnow, she's not a player you want to take an attack like that from to the head.
It'll be the 11th service error charge to the Badgers. That ties set number 3 here at 1.
I think Kelly Sheffield is going to have this team practicing serves all the way up until August when they head to Milwaukee.
Our side, Audrey Flanagan's kill is dug out by Grevengood. Now Delaney Steers was met at the net by Tarnow and Natalie Wardlow, but she had enough power on that ball to keep it on the Badger side of the net. Point to the Huskies.
And Steers, who only had 13 kills all of last season, now has 6 today.
Furbringer sends it near side. Just a masterclass there from Charlie Furbringer. Not very close to Audrey Flanagan there, twisting her body, going from left to right, but is able to set her up for the kill.
Yeah, we talked about how these spring games are a great chance for Kelly Sheffield to see which players are fitting in the best. And of these freshmen right now, Audrey Flanagan is leading the way as, again, Northern Illinois able to take the lead. Another nice dump over.
Yeah. They've
from
made
Riley Alvin.
That fake out, not going in for the kill and just kind of pushing it over the net. That's been a big part of the bag of tricks so far here for the Huskies. Furbringer to Jayla August. No doubt about it. August with her 7th kill of the day ties the game at 3.
And it's just too easy for Wisconsin. The dig from Simon, the set from Furbringer, and the kill from August. Badger fans are going to get used to hearing that come fall.
Serve from Flanagan. Does not clear the net yet again. And a point to the Huskies. They take a 4-3 lead here early in set 3. Both the first 2 sets went to the Badgers. They both ended with the same final score of 25-18. This third set starting similar to the second set. Pretty back and forth. The serve from Ellie Smith, dug out by Thompson. Furbringer, there it goes. Yet again, Charlie Furbringer, instead of setting up one of her teammates there, she does so well, fakes out the Northern Illinois defense and just pushes it over the net for a point.
It's the 3rd time she's pulled out that setter dump, and each time it's worked. Getting a really seeing why Wisconsin is just a different team when she's healthy. When she returned from injury last season against Indiana, Wisconsin was 11-0 up until that Final Four loss against Kentucky. Just shows the impact she has.
That point goes to Wisconsin. A little confusion there for a second. Delaney Steers is denied at the net. It looked like Jayla August.
Now looks like they're changing it and giving it to NIU. And
back and forth we go.
And now we're getting a challenge from Kelly Sheffield.
So the Badgers will challenge the play. Like you mentioned, Charlie Furbringer at Wisconsin, 11-0 when she came back, missed 9 games due to injury last season. She was ranked the #1 setter out of high school. She hails from Hermosa Beach, California. And in those 9 games that she missed due to injury, Wisconsin was 6-3. All other regular season games with her in the lineup, the Badgers were an astounding 18-1. She reached 15,000 assists in her career in their victory versus Marquette last season. As we get a look here of the play in question.
Yeah, and Sheffield's trying to say that it took a touch as it was going out against Delaney steers of the attack into the block of Furbringer and August, and it's really hard to tell from that angle if it did come down and hit Steers.
It looked like her left foot was in the vicinity as Furbringer and August tried to deny her at the net. Very close though, hard to tell. Looked very close. It was definitely in the area. It definitely changed direction, but it's hard to tell if it was because of hit the floor first and then her foot, or if it went. Yeah, so call confirmed by the referees, no touch. So the point stays with Northern Illinois.
I think that's the right call.
Yeah.
Just not enough there to show that there was a touch. Again, Northern Illinois, even despite being shorthanded, they're putting up a great fight in this one. The team that they only went 13-14 last season. Were 6-12 in the MAC. Did not qualify for the MAC tournament for the 4th consecutive season, but even against a top 10 team like Wisconsin, they're fighting hard. The Badgers get a point back to even things up.
And Northern Illinois will no longer be in the MAC conference. As of 2026-27, all Northern Illinois sports programs are moving to the Horizon League.
Except for football, which will, for some reason, play in the Mountain West, because we all know those famous Illinois mountains.
They're big. Illinois is definitely not a bunch of cornfields. Back over the net. Schultz tried to set up Kiana Shields here at the near side. She could not, however, get it over the net. Wisconsin gets the point to take a 6-5 lead here early in set number 3.
That sends Jayla Gus back to the service line. That's the struggle you get going against a team like Wisconsin who's so good on the block. You have to be creative with your placement on your attacks, and that caused Shields to be unable to get it over, but Wisconsin gives the point back with another service error. That's 13 now.
That will definitely be a point of emphasis. Just like when a basketball team misses a bunch of free throws, coach will put him in the gym and make him shoot 100. I'm sure Kelly Sheffield will do something similar with serves for Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm sure Kelly Sheffield watching Wisconsin from the service line today, if he had hair, he'd be pulling it out. Everything else has been working pretty good for them, however.
Replay there. Hallie Thompson didn't appear in the first set, but here in set 2 and now here in set 3 has made her presence felt. That one is sent long. Audrey Flanagan tried to dig it out. Look out. Kristen Simon goes flying right off the court, nearly into the sand. Point to the Huskies to tie the game at 7. Like you mentioned, Carter, while this is just a spring game, for a team that finished under 500, taking on a team that was in the Final Four and one set away from going to the national championship, the Huskies, especially taking into consideration the fact that they only have 8 players today, they have put up a pretty good fight.
Yeah, this is incredibly impressive from Northern Illinois, and if they're able to get just one set off of these Badgers, that would be a huge confidence boost heading into next season as they again take the lead, and the small contingent of NIU fans who have made the trip here getting something to cheer about.
Furbringer looking up to set Thompson on the near side. She was blocked at the net, but got it back. Now we'll try again. Far side, Natalie Wardlow with the kill to tie the game at 8.
It looks like they're calling it a net violation. They're going to give the point to NIU. Wardlow, she came in hot there and just unable to stay off the net. Kelly Sheffield wants a bit of an explanation about it. He's not going to have him take another look at it. We'll take another look.
I don't know that she did touch the net.
Well, maybe on the follow-through, she's coming down. Looks like may have grazed it. Gets the kill this time, and
she makes right up for it on the very next play. Did not touch the net this time, that's for sure. 8-9 now the score. Wisconsin still dominating in the kills department with 40 to NIU's 21. Definitely been a point of emphasis in this game. Now near side, Audrey Flanagan sends it far side, or excuse me, near side to far side for the kill. She's had a pretty nice afternoon here, and that ties the game back up at 9.
Yeah, Flanagan has been great for Wisconsin. Really nicely placed cross-court attack, able to tie things back up.
Ellie Smith sets up Naomi Dowd for the kill. Charlie Furbringer tried to dig it out, but she could not. Northern Illinois takes the lead back. Up now 10-9.
Yeah, Northern Illinois, no fear there from Naomi Dowd to get the kill. Just her second of this game.
A far side, Audrey Flanagan. Her kill attempt is blocked. That one, Northern Illinois got their hands on it again, but it went out of bounds, and that knots the game up at 10.
And that's now 7 kills for Flanagan, who's tied with August, second on the team today, just behind Ava Travis, who haven't seen anything of her in this set.
She was a big part of those first 2 sets, the transfer from UC Santa Barbara. Kelly Sheffield getting everybody involved. And that one goes to Wisconsin. They will take the lead back, now at 11-10.
That's another kill for Jayla August. Putting it off the block. It was Dowd and Alvin unable to stop that one.
Huskies trying to answer back. Delaney Steers is denied at the net.
Yeah,
Jayla August in the vicinity. Natalie Wardlow for the block.
Yeah, it's the newest members of the Great Wall of Wisconsin there, and who I think everyone's expecting to be Wisconsin's top 2 middle blockers, and August and Wardlow got that block. Now another point from the Badgers, starting to build a bit of a lead. We talked about Wisconsin, always capable of going on a big run. They're on a 4-0 run now.
That'll warrant a timeout for the Huskies, who trail 10-13. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Big Ten Plus to finish out set number 3.
There are going to be 2 of those players they need to really step up as this set goes along, and also into the 4th set if they want to try to get a set victory, because that block's going to be really important to try to disrupt what Wisconsin is doing, especially in the middle. Jayla August has had her way with NIU so far in this one.
Kristen Simon to serve, dug out by Delaney Steers. She gets it right back, sends it over, and it's a point to the Huskies.
No, they're giving it to Wisconsin.
Yeah, they're giving it to Wisconsin. Miss referee signaled the other way, but as you can see here on the replay, that one is indeed out of bounds.
Yeah, it looks like they signaled it, went outside the antenna. Net violation against NIU. It's another point for the Badgers, and that lead is just continuing to be built. It's now an 8-0 run for Wisconsin. This is what they do, and this is why they're so tough to play against. When they get in a rhythm, there's really not a whole lot you can do to stop them.
And a big, danger point here, as that one is sent long. Another point to Wisconsin Carter. As we've talked about it multiple times here tonight. There's only 2 players right now on the bench for Northern Illinois. So the later, and we're guaranteed to play 4 sets, no matter if Wisconsin goes on to eventually win this. So, as we continue to play here tonight, those Husky legs are continuing to get more and more tired. We might start to see some bigger runs as this goes on. Jayla August with the dump, and that stretches the Badger run to double digits. They've gone from down 10-9 to up 19-10.
This is really impressive from Wisconsin. And another kill for Jayla August. She's into double figures, and you can really see the fatigue starting to set in for NIU. They just don't have the legs to keep up with this Wisconsin team, which is able to rotate like a normal game.
Coming up and slamming it home, Natalie Wardlow. Wisconsin has stretched their lead out now to 10. The setup by Charlie Furbringer.
Now 11-0 run for Wisconsin, and NIU did such a good job at the first half of this set, keeping pace, taking the lead a couple times, but the Badgers, they have just come back as hard as ever, and it's really getting tough for Northern Illinois to generate anything.
Delaney Steers. Shot is dug out by Audrey Flanagan. Allie Smith just shoots it over the net. Now Furbringer setting up Kimora Scott, who was initially denied, gets it back and slams it home. Kimora Scott seeing some action here in set 3, and she makes an early impact.
And Kimora Scott able to get the kill, one of the 5 freshmen that are on this spring roster for Wisconsin. Doesn't quite have the resume that you see with the players, the other freshmen like Isabella Hopp and Lainey Tarnow, Flanagan, Thompson, but you don't get on this Wisconsin team by accident, and she just showed it there. A great job staying with the play and getting that second attempt in the kill, but Northern Illinois able to get a point back and finally end that long Wisconsin run.
And a service error by the Badgers ends the 11-0 run.
Just had to be another service error.
Kristen Simon tipped it. Hallie Thompson tried to grab it, but she could not. Another point for Northern Illinois. And when speaking about Kimora Scott, Coach Kelly Sheffield said Kimora was a little bit off the radar when we first saw her. We immediately saw her as someone who can be an elite side attacker. So she may not be as highly touted of a recruit as some of the other big headline names in this freshman class for Wisconsin, but definitely has the potential to grow. Service error by the Huskies pushes the Badger lead back out to 10.
Yeah, and talking more about Kimora Scott, you know, people like us, we look at the numbers and we just say, oh, top 10 recruit, they're going to be really good. That's not how Kelly Sheffield's going to operate. You know, he just has that eye for talent. That's why Wisconsin's been so successful under him. And if he believes Kimora Scott can be a big impact on this team, well, I think everyone should believe it as well, because his resume speaks for itself.
23-12 the score. It's been the most dominant set for Wisconsin so far. Can Northern Illinois find a way to fight back? Kimora Scott with the point that brings Wisconsin to set point, and they are looking here for a 3-0 sweep. This would be their third victory in their 3 spring matches. 3-1 win over Marquette, a 3-0 sweep over Green Bay. We'll have to wait just another point to see if they get another 3-0 sweep. Point to the Huskies. Cut the lead to 11. Now to serve, Ellie Smith. That was Autumn Flynn with the kill for the Northern Illinois Huskies. Serve here by Smith. Dug out by Simon. Coming up from the back line is Thompson, and that'll do it for set number 3. Wisconsin in resounding fashion. A 12-point victory.